Hi, everybody. Today it's Friday the 13th, and it's Linda here at Rhythmomancy, Ribbon Reading, and more. And I just want to welcome you back to the channel and thank you, the ones that keep tuning in to see what I'm up to, and the new folks that are coming in to check it out, too. So today, the ribbons that came out for Friday the 13th are, oh, the horror group here. Okay, we got Friday the 13th and Freddy and all kinds of other horrible things there. That's so scary, right? Friday the 13th. Oh, and then the next one that came out, oh my God, it's a blood is just running here. So that's like making me want to go lock the door and stay inside. And then the next one that comes up is the first responders. So we've got to call for help on this one. And then the black ribbon came out. Oh my God, that's crazy, right? It's not real. I just pulled those out ahead of time because I thought it would be fun. So, anyways, yeah, I thought, wouldn't that be funny though if it does show up in the actual reading I'm going to do later? But there is the scary stuff that we all anticipate for Friday the 13th. But so I did a little bit of research and looked into Friday the 13th, and interesting stuff came up, right? So, Friday the 13th, it only happens 1 to 3 times a year, depending on the calendar. So, it will fall in a month that begins on a Sunday. So, if the first day of the month is on a Sunday, then we will have a Friday the 13th, but we cannot have more than three in a year. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The bad luck story of Friday the 13th goes back way back. I mean, it's got a Greek name called triskaidekaphobia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not, but the words are from Greek that go together to say a phobia of the number 13, triskaidekaphobia. And then the Norse folklore talks about a dinner that the gods were having, and 12 gods were invited, and they came to the dinner. They were having their dinner, and Loki was 13th uninvited guest who showed up and just caused a bunch of chaos and death and darkness to fall upon the earth. So that's kind of in Norse tradition. That's where the number 13 got its bad reputation. Now, interestingly, I found out that in Finland they have a National Accident Day, and it is always not celebrated but recognized on a Friday the 13th. And that's going to be at least one time a year, right? So that is to raise awareness for increasing safety at work sites and at home and in preventing accidents, accident prevention. So National Accident Day isn't about like go out and celebrate having an accident, but it's about being aware of how to prevent accidents. So that's kind of interesting. And then in Christianity, of course, we see the Last Supper. The 13th guest was Judas, and he was, of course, the betrayer of Christ. So he was the 13th guest, supposedly, at the Last Supper. NASA has some restructuring of their launch numbers, like Apollo 13. Apollo 13 had an oxygen tank explosion, and they were able to return back to Earth safely. But, imagine being on, those, it probably was like there's no technology in those things. Like what we even have on our cell phones today has more technology than those little spaceships that they would get shot out into orbit with. So Apollo 13, NASA has actually renumbered their launch, the numbers of the adventures, right? I don't know what else to call that, but their blast offs or whatever. And then, so the Knights Templar. So that really kind of came to the forefront when we saw the movie, the Da Vinci Code, and they were talking about the Knights Templar and how Friday the 13th played a role in the downfall of the Knights Templar. And King Philip from France, he had them all like rounded up, arrested. They were tortured, and then ultimately they were all killed. So, well, not all of them. We know some of them have had escaped, of course, but and they took the treasure where? Hmm. Oak Island. I don't know. I've been watching that show for like 8 years, and I keep waiting to see the Knights Templars treasure show up, but it hasn't yet. So I don't know. Anyway, so the Knights Templar was really something that brought it into our awareness too. So as a matter of fact, though, many ships and buildings and rooms, so floors and rooms, are not numbered 13. The number 13 is completely missing. You can see on the little thumbnail that I put up there, that's the elevator push button thing, and it doesn't have a number 13 on it. So that's kind of funny to see that superstition actually in effect in other parts of the world too as well. So it's not just here. That I think that was an elevator someplace in Asia. So the number 13 is also considered lucky. So, this is like it can go either way. So it can be lucky, and there's tons of sports references of, a player with the number 13 or 13 wins or 13, it's everywhere in sports. So interestingly enough, though, at some of the racetracks for horse racing, they don't have a stall number 13. So that's interesting. I know that's at Santa Anita Park in Los Angeles, in Pasadena, and they don't have a number 13 stall there. And I read that there's another place somewhere in maybe the UK that doesn't have a number 13 on a stall as well. Now, in Indian culture, Asian Indian, so this it can represent death or karma, upheaval, and change. So it can be kind of dark in their numerology. But they also have angelic numerology, which angelic numerology says that in number 13 says that your angels are with you and that your thoughts will be more focused and that you'll be more creative. The Freemasons, who were part of our founding fathers, interestingly, they have a lot of number 13 connections. So as we know, this country, America, began with 13 colonies or 13 states. So the flag had 13 stars. And today our dollar bill has, and I circled it over here, a shield over the eagle that has 13 little teeny tiny little stars in there. So, and there's that little pyramid with the all-seeing eye. That's pretty interesting. That's a Freemason symbol as well. So 13 stars, and that's like referring to the 13 original colonies that were here in the United States. The Freemasons believed that number 13 was a highly creative and powerful number for material outcomes. And part of that's because the number 1 plus the number 3 equals number 4. And number 4, of course, like, we know chairs have, for the most part, 4 legs. Tables have 4 legs, very stable. You can sit on it. It's built to, withstand things. So don't freak out when you look at the clock and it says, 13 on it, or if you see a license plate that has the number 13 on it, or you go to some place and you have to pull a number and wait in line and it's number 13. Don't freak out, because some people think it's bad and some people think it's good. So it's kind of bipolar. I guess you can choose. And what it really kind of speaks to is that we really do have the ability to manifest things. And, if we put our attention on things. It's like that saying where energy goes or intention goes, energy flows. And so it's kind of like that. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It does have, those connotations from history, but it can be good too as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of ribbons out of the basket over here. Now these are the real ones, right? Okay, and I'm not cheating like I did on the other ones. So I'm just gonna reach in here and let's see what the energy of Friday the 13th has for us today. And we'll just rummage around in here. Friday the 13th energy. And I'm not looking, you guys, because remember, it's unedited. There's no editing. And there's no going back. So let's see. Friday the 13th. Well, how interesting. It says go back to school. So we have a lot to learn about. I would say this ribbon's talking to us about learning how to manifest the good and the positive things in our life and not just focus on being fearful or being, letting something have control over us. So we just go back to school, relearn, rethink those things and not have that fear. You don't have to go shut yourself in your room and lock the door because, you know, Freddie and his gang are coming, right? So we're just going to rethink it and be positive and use that in our life on a daily basis, not just using fear, thoughts of fear. Okay, here comes number 2. Oh, how interesting. The birds. That's beautiful. Okay, so birds and animals in general really have no concerns. There's a passage in the Bible that says that God knows every bird on the land or in the tree, and that all of their needs are taken care of, and there's no worries there in the bird's life. Well, I don't know. I think when the crows come around and they're marauding and robbing the nest, then that could probably be pretty worrisome. Yeah. So that's funny because some birds showed up in the last reading too. It was on an oracle card though, I think. So, okay, and the last one today. Oh, wow, it's just Star Wars fans. Okay, so this is modern kind of mythology. Luke, I am your father. Star Wars. Hmm. Yeah, so this is kind of using knowledge to using that technology and the knowledge that they gained in Star Wars to, really overcome that evil and blow up the Death Star. It doesn't have to be a bad day. We can make it a good day, and we can learn how to manifest positive things in our life by being positive, by having positive thoughts, and really reaching out and being kind to one another. All right, you guys. Well, I want to thank you all for showing up and being here with me today. And I hope you all have a blessed Friday the 13th. No worries, right? Okay. See you soon. Bye bye.